Easy people, nice things here. It's going to be a really quick one. I always say that, but it really will be a quick one unless I get carried away. And this one is the start of quite a few that I'm going to do, which are going to be for like beginners. Anybody who's thinking of buying one of these things or has got one and is still not quite sure, because some things seem convoluted at first because you just have to get to understand how they work. Hopefully you can hear me on here. Let me just check that that's working. Yeah, it is. If you're new here, like and subscribe, because like I say, 80% of people view and don't subscribe, and that's why I don't do that many, kind of. What was I on about? Oh yeah, that was what I was on about. If you're new here, you'll discover I don't edit. I just do it in real time. So I've already took up a minute for this quick one. And this quick one's going to be about previews and how previews work on the Akai Force. So I'm going to start with a simple thing. Anything which is sample based, i.e. anything which is audio, can be previewed prior to being on the Akai Force. What I mean by that is, if I go to one of my setups here and I go in here, I can go to one of a sound in here and I can play it. And, oh, have I got it on auto? Yeah, I've got it on auto. Sorry, I have to... Yeah. For some reason, you always have to go to the next one. It'll never play the top one unless you press play. It'll never automatically play the top one. It'll always play the next one underneath, and then if you go back, it'll play it. Just keep that in mind. It'll never play the top one automatically because you have to go back to it for some reason. Okay, and if you want to stop it, just press play again, and that stops it from automatically playing. You've got three things here in preview. You've got auto, which means automatic, and that means it'll start automatically playing. You've got sync. What that'll do is it'll try to play on the next beat, which is consistent with the whatever's playing. So, for example, the easiest way of saying it is it's just going to wait for the next beat before it plays. And then you've got warp, and what it'll do is it'll play it with time stretching on, so it'll try to play it to the beat with time stretching on. So in example, if I put a click here and I press play, so now this is going to go, and as soon as it found the first beat, it'll go. Oh, actually, so I've just learned something new there. Basically, it goes, waits for the start of the bar, so it doesn't wait for the start of the beat, which is good, which makes sense. So what you might notice there, I'll stop that. Short version is some things don't necessarily work with warp because they have a different meta tag. I'm not going to go into that, but certain things don't necessarily work with warp. You can go and get programs that can fix that. There is one on the Akai Force users group for anybody who's thinking of getting an Akai Force or has got an Akai Force. And if you're on Facebook, you want to join the Akai Force users group. If you're not on Facebook and you're not that big fan of social media or anything like that, then Gearspace is where you want to go, gearspace.com, and look for the Akai Force, and there's a load of posts there. Yeah, so that's that. Anyway, you could turn that off and on if you don't want them to automatically, so that's on there. If I go like that, turn off auto and all that lot, now it won't do anything. So keep that in mind. All right, so that's the first thing. Any of these are the same. So any of the kits, anything with a preview, anything sample-based will play a sound prior to loading it up. But the opposite is true for this thing here, which is instruments. If you go to instruments, this shows you all the plugins that are available with this machine. Again, if you're new to this or you're wondering, this has its own like synthesis. So it's got synths and pianos and blah blah blah, and it's got loads of different plugins. It's got loads of presets, and there's quite a few plugins, and you never know what the future may hold. So when you're using this, a lot of people can get confused because they wonder, well, how come I can't hear this sound here? And it's because it's the opposite way round. So what you need to do is you make a sound and then you can play it in context. That's the advantage. So the way you should look at it is you can play these samples using warp and they'll play in context to everything. But when you're wanting to use any plugin sounds, you have to have a plugin there first for it to play the previous sound. So let's show why that's good and why that's a massive advantage. And what we'll do is we'll go here and we're going to create some plugins. I'm going to go to advanced because I'm going to create a couple of plugins. So I'm going to create three plugins, 1, 2, 3. And what I'll do is I'll create a drum, and then I'm just going to create a drum kit, and then I'm going to make something up really quick just to show you what I mean. I'll do the drums after. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go shift note, and I'm just going to go to progression, and I'll go to, I think 4. I think I liked 4. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, so we'll have that. Oh, good Lord. I always play stuff wrong. Every time when I start something, I always play it wrong. Here we go. Okay, so we got that. And we go, yeah, that's cool. And what I have that on at the moment is I just have that on the default one. So what I can do now is I can go back into load, I can go to instruments, and let's say, for example, I could go to any of these and then just go through all the stuff there, but I'm going to go one level better than that. And I'm going to go, so if I want to get back to the top of that, I can just press instruments and I'm back to the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I want to find synth sounds. No, do you know what? I want to find piano sounds. So anything with piano in now, it's going to load up. And then all I have to do is press the top one, and then I can go through them, up and down, till I hear something. All right, I'll keep that for now. Let's go shift note again. Shift note. And I'll go back to scales because I've got it already in scales, so I'll play some stuff. So let's see. I don't know, that first bit seems to be all right. Here we go. So I'll go again, and now I'm going to say I want a lead sound. So I'm going to type in lead. If I can spell it right. There we go. And we'll go through these. Yeah, I'll have that. So let's do a bass now. Okay, something like this. Down to 2. That'll do. We'll have that. So then I go here again to load, and then I'll just type in, I won't even type in bass because I can search and look for bass there. So now I've got all basses, so here we go. Can keep going through this, can do it quicker. Take that off. Not feeling that. Maybe I'm feeling that. Yeah, you get the idea. So that's what I could do, or just to make sure you fully get it, I'm playing that and I go, I don't feel this solo here, so I'm going to go back to find the lead again. Not a leaf, a lead. And I'm going to go and find a different lead. Maybe I'll change that piano to a synth. And this is how quick you can start getting ideas. Did I spell synth right? Synth. Yeah, that's weird. Let's try that again. That's an interesting thing. I'm going to double check that I've spelled synth right. Synth. Okay. Oh, they're all there. That's why I hit that. I wondered why that was. So look at all the synths up there. And the greatest thing about this is these are all of them. So instead of just having one plugin, I've got all of the things what have synth in all of the plugins. So tube synth, anything else. If say, I don't know, whatever, there's a plugin and it's got synths, it'll be there. So I can just keep going through them. And then go back again and say, yeah, I'm not feeling that. Let me see if I can find a flute. So there's a flute, so there you go. So yeah, so I think that's about the size of that. Hopefully that made sense to you. It went on longer than what I meant, but you know what I mean. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe because it'll make me make more of an effort. Like I say, 80% of people don't subscribe. If they did, and it was 20% who didn't, oh, I might show you a lot more. Anyway, till next time, as always, peace.